All right. So I may have missed my deadline for January, but I can only say, I'm only human after all. I don't even have the video. I don't know why I referenced that. But hello, everybody. My name is VozFabit, and welcome to a movie. A movie? This isn't even a movie. I don't even know this made it an hour. Does this make it to be an hour? Not even close. No. It's 20 more minutes. But yes, welcome to a video on a movie called The Amazing Bulk, a spoof movie on The Incredible Hulk. There's been plenty of videos about this movie, and this movie is also free to watch. Should it be? Yes. I don't know if this movie released in theaters or anything, but this movie is actually insanity. This movie's insane. Like, genuinely. This whole video barely even sums up the bits and pieces of just craziness that this movie contains. I don't even know how to describe it. Except that I did somewhat. So yeah, just watch the video. You'll see it all. But real quickly before we really get into this video, I just want to say I do apologize for missing the deadline. I got very burnt out. Once again, like I said in that one video a month thing, I am streaming, maintaining a main channel, and I have a full-time job. And not to mention, I just started a Resident Evil marathon, which after I upload this, I'll be streaming RE3 Remake. But I finally sat down and said, alright, I need to space everything out. So I reduced my stream schedule from on a whim, almost daily, to now every other day, and sometimes I don't even stream the day. I'll be honest. I have to just accept my defeat some days. And I'm also trying to make time in the day instead of just sleeping all day, because I am tired. I'm tired as I'm recording this. And it's not even close to the time I usually go to bed. We are fried. So yes, please do enjoy this video. I apologize. Next video, like I said in the outro, is going to be The Evil Within 2. Don't know if I'm dropping it this month. Probably not. It is almost the 10th, and I haven't even started recording the game yet. Mainly because I've been working on this and a lot of other things. So, yeah, they expected in March, Expected in March. Probably the beginning of March. I'm probably going to try and get them out over there. And I also plan to toss out some smaller videos, Not like this one. This is a smaller video, but I mean like 20 minutes, maybe even 10. So then you guys have something to, wage you between this video, a big video, and then the next one. And I might just start dividing these into parts too. Like this one, I probably could have put into 2 parts, but I don't think it's worth it. It's 40 minutes, 20 minutes per video. You wouldn't have watched it. Anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Whatever. Enjoy this video.
Hey dog, you see what this bottle say?
Aquafina?
Man, Aqua ain't finna do nothing. See, now I'm about to whoop your ass.
This movie begins in the funniest way possible by having a bunch of mock movie companies from people like Universal to Paramount, but just with the words feature presentations. However, one thing they didn't really have, and once again, this came out in like 2013, so I don't know if it's just this wasn't a big thing yet or they just forgot, but there isn't a little screen, the MCU screen being mocked with feature presentations. This is one thing I thought I'd point out. I don't know if there's any mock movies in the year 2026, but if y'all do one, just get to have the MCU screen with feature presentations on it. That would be fire. But we get into the movie, and off rip, you could tell this movie is, well, a movie by just the look of the city that is genuinely built off of the Web of Shadows city. I don't know if that game was out by now. Probably was. I don't know. I was born in 2005. I was barely cohesive when 2013 rolled around. Probably the weirdest thing about this movie is just all the shots of the city. And no joke, the city does look really good, but we never see these parts of the city ever again. Like, when we're in the city doing actual, acting and story, we're between 5 scenes, and that's it. Hell, most of the movie doesn't even take place in the city. But speaking of other weird things this movie has, it just has one big problem, and that is some of the shots go on for way too long. Like, for example, there's this girl here who's walking through the city at night. The scene starts at 1:50. She doesn't get to her destination until 2 minutes and 43 seconds into the movie. That's almost a full minute of her walking and admiring the 5 scenes we'll see throughout the entire movie. Now, it seems like I'm complaining a lot at the beginning, and well, it's warranted. This movie isn't, once again, the best movie of all time, but don't take it as in I didn't like the movie, because, this movie is really something, because the immediate next scene, we're right off the peak, that is the Bulk. So, this lady, who has no name, is in this alleyway, as she's trying to light her cigarette with a match, but it's not happening. So this kind man comes out of nowhere and offers her a light, but his lighter doesn't light. And this is live or a loss, defamement in front of the HUDs. So he does the only reasonable thing and holds her at gunpoint to make her try and forget what she just saw. Now, this next part really confuses me a little because she has this gun down her throat, and I don't know if it's because of this or, oh, I don't know, the big purple man standing in front of her, but she starts to scream like she's Sindel from MK, which scares the man, causing one of the kill effects of all time to occur. But it gets better, because now this purple man, he's angry, he's upset, he's pissed, and you don't want to see him when he's pissed. So the guy goes to up the switch on the young folk, and oh my god, the I assume is a 1911 of the sorts switches to a CGI revolver. Genuinely the funniest shit in any movie I have seen ever.
Why'd you let her die before you helped?
Oh my god, it switched to a revolver. Dude.
Is he just
There he goes.
But that was the last thing bro could ever do, like, ever, before he gets balked upon. And if that didn't do it for you, you could see a caked up bulk running out of the alleyway. That was way longer than the alleyway scene had any right be. Like, genuinely, the alleyway scene to him running had to be same length of time, genuinely. Like, come on, bro. I can't sit here reminisce on this sad moment of watching this random woman be shot and killed, and then the guy be killed as well. But then you saw me, like, 2 minutes of the caked up bulk running out of the alleyway. But I want you to keep in mind something. And I mentioned this at the beginning, I'll mention it again. There is scenes that last way longer than they have any right being. Yes, just keep this in mind. But with that, we get our title card, and this cast scene is long. Very long. Like, I'm pretty sure it's more animatics than it is actual cast members. But literally, they had like 10 people on this project at most. And some people are doing 3 things or more. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the editors was also acting and writing the script. Alright, I ain't gonna hold you. That was a transition of all time. But now this timeline of this act is gonna get a bit weird, because everything we just saw happens way later in the movie again. Like, basically, this act is the happenings beforehand. Like, everything that's going to take place takes place a day before everything just happens, is what I'm trying to say. So we're just going to skip all this detective stuff. You don't care. I don't care. We'll see it again anyway, so I'm just going to sum it up again, but we're just not going to sum it up now, because we're not going to remember. I'm not going to remember. May as well move on. So yeah, we're a day earlier, and for some reason the cityscape, it looking crazy right now. It's ridiculous. And so are these transitions. Like, what are we doing, man? Now, there is a lot wrong with this next scene, and let me start by saying this. This is a spoof movie, and it's a very good one. I might add, like, no joke, this movie is very funny. But you can really tell this was taken in some guy's garage, or in some random room. But it gets worse later, trust me. I want you to take every negative thing I say with a grain of salt, because most of the negatives, it's a spoof movie. They're supposed to be negative. It's supposed to be a bad movie. So don't take them too seriously. I'm only pointing them out because some of the stuff on there is very funny, or it's so outrageously bad that, like, if I didn't point it out, who would? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious. Like, a lot of people have covered this movie. They're not covering it to the extent that I'm covering it. I'm covering it like a maniac, like a monster. Yeah. But yeah, most things are either on purpose, budget constraints, yada yada yada. Which, fun fact, this movie was self-funded by the, main director of the movie. And I have another fun fact that will probably take place, like, for the movie, an hour and a minute in. For this video, not too sure editor me will put it on screen. Our main character's name is Henry. For some reason, Sam, a singular time, the very first time he's on screen, calls him Hank. Nobody else calls him Hank for the rest of the movie. Hell, not even Sam calls him Hank ever again. Everyone else calls him Henry. And that's what's frying me right now. That's what has me fried. I just don't get that. It's so weird. Oh, sorry, I had to yawn. But yeah, and a lot of other characters either just don't have names or some generic names that just you genuinely wouldn't know unless you were on the IMDb page looking it up. But another one of the funny negatives is that this room has 0 soundproofing, which is why I pointed out garage. And I found it weird, but I kind of understand about it. These guys couldn't find a real lab to do this in. I guess it'd be hard unless you're in school that lets you use a lab for the purpose of the peak movie, The Amazing Bulk. They just didn't know what they were on about. They didn't know. But I'm guessing most schools want to be like, hey, you can film in here. Like, this is kind of when I pointed out the garage thing, because there's a lot of echo in the area they're in, which don't know where they're in, I'll be honest. But these guys are about to do some tests on these rats. What for? Basically, a super soldier serum. But Hank Henry wants to ask this girl out. Her name is Hannah. And by out, I mean to get married. They want to get married. Don't know how old they are. They don't ever say it. But with all this negative... sorry, I read the whole wrong line. That is on me, guys. That is on me. But the issue is, Hank Henry is working for her dad. And he's, like, the general or something. They said the general. I don't know the general of what. Like, I really don't know. It's weird. But with all this negative energy in the room, the CGI rat gets reduced to vapor. And we find out this is the 236th rat that's been reduced to vapor. Yeah, it's bad. But Hand is here, just grabbing Hank Henry for lunch. And, oh my god, what is... Sorry, if it seems like I'm over-exaggerating everything, it is because I'm reading, like, the script. I don't have the video up, so I'm trying to make it seem like, you know, we're all in the same timeline here. Immerse yourself. Immerse yourself. But yeah, literally half of this is Vizzy Pop writing, so I'm trying to just skip over and improv it. Don't mind me. But yeah, no, genuinely, what is this car? Like, maybe 2013 Photoshop was bad, but this, oh my god. I'm fried. I'm cooked. You know, what the hell? This is so funny to me because they have green screens. Why didn't anyone just hop in a car, have a green screen go by them? I mean, I don't know if it would look worse than what this is, because the whole environment behind them is just there because they didn't have anything else to use the footage on, but... whatever. And, one of the weirdest things ever is we get this montage of them frolicking through the fields, and not like actual fields, no, a green screened in field. How bad is the city you're in to where you can't record your guys' self outside running through the fields or something? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they get shot and killed. They record out in there. Maybe they just don't want to. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. Movie's out. It's been out for almost 2 years now. Not 2 years. 13? Man, that's kind of amazing when you think about it. Really. I'm sorry. It's 4 in the morning. I just got up like an hour ago. We're fried. But they're talking about life and stuff. You don't care, and I won't bore you with it. But back at the lab, the rat has broke containment. But they're talking, and he just says again that he wants to ask Hannah out, but not before an intense science montage where they still vaporize the rat. It sucks. And then we get this weird dad's freeze frame. I don't know. Before the flashbang that is these people's Evochrome fountain.
Vent.
What was that freeze frame?
What is that? Water. No.
Bro has the Evochrome from Fortnite. But Hank Henry is at the house of the Huz, and he means business so much. In fact, he's outside rehearsing this speech that never gets said throughout the entire movie. And I would actually love to know where they got the assets for this house, because it is the most random house I've ever seen put together with just green screen tape and just assets. But they enter, they walk around this place of all time, and I will say, for this movie's acting is just weird. Like, when we meet the general, his first lines are really funny because he sounds like a Skyrim NPC.
You guys are the fastest people alive.
I hate dust. I don't want it building up in my home.
I hate dust. He's
Look
just
at the video game
Let
NPC.
dust build up, and before you know it, you've got an army of dust bunnies plotting to take over.
But yeah, this guy and some other people's characters are just weirdly put together. Like, the reason I think he sounds like a Skyrim NPC is it's not like he was recording his lines before he started doing the acting, and they just kind of lip-synced it all together. It's weird. But then at the same time, when he's in this next scene, his acting is improved. Like, he was genuinely there.
The experience going fine. I'd like to talk about Hannah.
Just a
They're
big
not walking at all.
Oh,
Oh my
Well,
god, the
Can
way
you
it
complete all?
stopped.
I want to out. I want to marry her.
You knock up my little girl, is that it, huh?
Of course not.
Then why? What's the reason, pissant?
I love her, okay? That's why.
Oh.
I love her.
hey,
This
Put
guy's
the wrong-
a
Try not to laugh.
you put the wrong clip in, man.
Do I have your blessing?
It's so weird, and it doesn't make sense because it's like you could have did this the entire time. And I don't know if it's because, you know, genuinely, as I said in the script, reading a teleprompter, but it's weird. I don't know. So Hank Henry asks him for his blessing, and he goes ham. I'm not gonna lie. I will start using "What's the reason, piss ant" for the rest of my life. Hell, even Hank found it funny. He almost broke character. But he says no because Hank has no real results on the super soldier serum, even working so after what? Oh, of the super soldier of the. But he says no because Hank has no real results of the super soldier serum even working. So after this, Hank Henry leaves, and these transitions have got to stop. I don't want to see another one of them. But at last stop this act is this random ass castle, and for some reason, this CGI dog is the funniest shit we've ever seen ever. Like, genuinely, the highlight of us watching this in Discord was watching the CGI background characters just do stuff. It's getting out of hand. It is a bit foolish. It's a bit silly.
Damn it, bro.
There's the dog!
What is that? What is that fucking thing?
But no joke, these scenes of this castle people were the best parts of this entire movie. And I'm gonna give one small spoiler because it is not really a spoiler, more of a missed opportunity for this movie. These two main villains, quote unquote, get the least amount of screen time out of everybody, and their scenes are genuinely funny. Like, both of these guys can really act. Everything they say or do is funny as fuck. But they're dating, and the big guy's name is Dr. Warner, and the lady friend's name is Loida? Loida doesn't really have a name, nor do we really know his name is Dr. Warner, I think. But their last names are Cantlove. I know that this guy's referred to as Dr. Cantlove. And upon some further research, Dr. Warner is no longer with us, so rest in peace, Randall Malone. That's his name? Yeah, I want to be respectful, because, you know, genuinely, once again, his scenes are amazing. But this scene is kind of nothing until the guards start acting foolish, acting funny. Warner walks up to them and is walking up to them like, hey, do you find my small penis funny? Do you think this is a laughing matter? The first guard fighting for his life. No, sir. I just, you know, guard number 2 told me something really funny. He was getting a bit foolish, a bit silly, you know. They don't want to be funny, just him. And I'm no troll. Guard 2, he hits an emote. He hits the wrong emote in the wheel. He fails the skill check. So Dr. Warner grabs the blammer and gets to work.
Oh god, oh no.
What the fuck is happening over
That
yonder? What the fuck is...
Someone help him.
It's like a
They're just they're repeating his moves.
Oh my god.
This is actually the movie of all time. But it's time to show you why he's the actual villain with another scene that is way funnier than it has any right being. So he enters this room that I am titling the Missile Room. You'll see why in a second. But for some reason, there's just this monkey, and I want to say a CGI Beethoven. And this is another scene you'll just have to watch. Like, this entire next scene, I'm just going to let it play out, and you'll just have to see it. It is just insane what they have going on in this entire scene.
Yo, what's he writing? He's a scholar.
What was that frame?
What's the warhead, dude?
They have just missiles in this castle? What is happening?
Old ass fucking like 70s footage of a rocket launched into space.
Is this the theme from Peggle?
Yo, he's tearing that shit up again.
2?
Oh, another one.
Is this
It's
allowed?
gonna be the exact.
Another
The
one.
exact same scene.
That'd be really fun.
Just a JPEG of them dragging the missile towards a random institute.
Oh my god, they're both.
It's the same missile too.
Oh my god.
The Great Wall.
The Taj Mahal!
Oh, not again.
I knew up that it was gonna be as many towers.
No, not Australia. Not Rushmore.
Oh my god, this movie is
I also
so
love that there's no
stupid.
like actual distance in the explosion at all. What the
Bro, whoever edited this movie was having a blast in that fucking computer, bro. Was just doing shit.
Dude, that guy worked so much harder than everyone else in this movie.
Nah,
That
this
guy
is
actually
awesome.
enjoyed what he was doing.
With the Heliante, with the Helion, with the Heliberry, with the Heliburton.
So this is where this movie takes a turn. A bulking turn. Yeah, hey, if you clicked out the video, just know I'm coming for you. I'm gonna find you. But we're at this fair, and something I didn't notice until editing was Hannah is eating this ice cream like it's cotton candy. This is also the act where I start hating Hannah, but you know, we'll get to that here in a second. You know, it just builds up a little bit. It builds up a little bit. But Hank Henry loves that out of her, and so much, in fact, he inches for proposing. Yeah, I can't type. And they let me get away with it too. They didn't give me the red line, nothing. I just typed that out and they let me get away with it. But he goes to propose to Hannah, but Hannah makes Hank get on this roller coaster. And I thought it was really funny the way that she talks about this roller coaster, because she beckons it like it's a wild animal that shouldn't even be at this fair. Now, to speed up this video a little bit, I know, it's very boring when I talk about every small little thing in this movie, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I urge you, if you would like to see every small little detail, go watch the movie, or hey, go watch the VOD on my other channel, where me and all my friends watched it. It's kind of the clips I'm using in this video as well. It is the full movie, just with a bunch of yap behind it. So, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to talk about bad acting if it is funny and it would enhance the video, and CGI that is funny and would enhance the video. Not every little thing, because there is a lot of it, and I'd be here for years talking about every small little thing, as well as these goddamn transitions, but this one is kind of cool. I really like it. We should, but the rest of them, ass. They're horrible. But now we're in the CGI train, but before Hank can finally propose, that guy, you know, from the beginning of the movie, shows up and has Hank by the barrel. And if it couldn't get worse, he's getting punked by his own girlfriend saying, "Oh, Hank, do what he says." Like, she had no faith in his combat abilities. Like, what if he was the second coming of the damn Winter Soldier? But no, this guy, right after this, takes her earrings, and I'll say it, take them. You want to punk me in front of this man, you're going down with me. But now, I'll point this out. For some reason, magically, and specifically this scene, and I'm pretty sure some other ones, everyone is calling him Hank now. This script was written by 5 people, and no one could decide on a name, so they went with all of them. But then this man goes for the ring that was in his pocket, and this is Hank's moment. It's time to shine. I mean, I'll say it. You know, he had the lefts and rights going, but he got taken down in one fell swoop. It was insane. You just had to be there. But the dude runs off to the back rooms because those doors don't open. Not to mention, how did he manage to rob them and get away with it? There's no one else in this train, and unless it's stopped, he's not getting out of said train. But after all this, Hannah's now mad at Hank for trying to run ones with, apparently, the Mike Tyson, and she jumps to the conclusion that it was for whatever was in his pocket. Now, this would be a good guess, but let's think about this logically. Maybe the only opportune moment to go for some swings and, you know, disarm him was when Buddy was hands deep in his pocket going for this quote-unquote ring that could have been in there. You know, if there was whatever was in his pocket, I guess. But, you know, to try to get your $5 earrings and his wallet back, I mean, he has his driver's license in it. Hell, maybe his lab key card. We don't know who's in there. Maybe he really wanted that back and not whatever's in his pocket that she assumes is in there. I guess not really assumes. The Garber does call it out in the notes on it. But Hank says it was a drive with top secret files in it, and that if it got into the wrong hands, it could be very bad, very dangerous. But for Hannah, it's in one ear and out the other. I would have been pissed if he's running my pockets and she didn't tag in. Genuinely had bro dazed and confused, and then when I'm on the floor, I'm expecting the tag in, but no. Yeah, don't even ask me what that was. And no joke, I'm starting to hate Hannah. Genuinely, this is my breaking point. Like, I get it, okay? Hannah is basically talking to Hank about, you know, the day and after the fair, but Hank says, hey, I'm gonna go back to working. And Hannah's like, no, you shouldn't do that. That's bad. That's bad. You need to rest. And Hank's like, hey, you know, I don't have a job necessarily, like, this is my only job, and they're gonna cut funding here soon, leaving me out of said job, so I kind of do need to get results very soon, or I'm going to lose my job. And Hannah's like, oh, well, okay, well, then I'm leaving. Alright, bro. Yeah, you got it. But after a montage, we finally have a potion that does something, but Hank says this isn't enough. He needs bigger results. So he does the wise thing and injects it into his bloodstream. And now we get to see this beginning scene from Hank's POV. And it is something interesting. Just him watching the guy, you know, go to rob her. He geeks out, turns to the ball, kills him. And now we know why he did it. It was for the ring that is no longer in its case. And one small nitpick, why was he still lugging around the case? Because later on we find out in the next scene that he sold it to 2 other guys that were giving it to Dr. Cantlove. Which means that if he was going to sell the ring, why didn't he also sell the case at the same time? It's confusing. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. But I'm skipping this Cantlove scene because it's not really important. It's dumb. It doesn't do anything. Once again, waste of potential in my opinion. Now, this next scene, I'm kind of, you know, upset at myself for this because I didn't really brief y'all, but y'all going to watch the movie, right? Yeah, you're going to go to watch it. It's free on YouTube. You know, get to it. But there's 2 cops. What their names are? Nah, I don't know. No clue. But they were in the beginning part that I skipped over because I thought they would replay it again, but that didn't happen. But, you know, doesn't really matter. Not important. But this is the start to one of the best scenes in the entire movie. So, you know, let's peep this. You know, peep this scene first, then we'll get to the other one.
Hey, what's going on in there? Is everything all right? I said, is everything all right?
Who is it?
Well, it ain't Ed McMahon. It's the police. Now, will you open while I'm still old?
But he puts on a shirt, and they enter to talk, and this bald dude genuinely is the funniest dude in every scene he's in. It is not even funny. Like, he is pressing Hank like he knows the way, like he knows the rules. It's insane. He was going to arrest him on the spot if he just for the slightest movement. But he gets his wallet, and the best line ever that is being referenced to this day gets delivered.
Well, I thank you for delivering this. Thought I'd never see it again. Where'd you find it?
A better question is, how'd you lose it?
But after all this praise, I gotta take it all back. These 2 cannot act for the life of them. Listen, I love the bald guy. He's funny, but it's purely because every line sounds so forced and it's hilarious. But after this, Hank does the smartest thing in the world, and he goes back to the scene of the crime after both of them pretty much knew it was him. Like, they knew it was him. Like, I mean, it was pretty obvious, you know, especially when you go back to the scene of the crime. And guess who was waiting outside the scene of the crime? The 2 cops sitting outside, waiting for someone named Hank Henry to do this exact thing. So Hank tried to explain himself, but they aren't having it, and when Hank says he's not going downtown, they both have him by the barrel, pull out the blamers, ready to gun him down for this insubordinates. Is that what the word is? So Hank does the only thing he's got left in his arsenal. Back never comes into it. Yeah. This scene is ridiculous, and it goes on for a whole 4 minutes, and this is why you need to watch this scene. It is the dumbest thing ever. But what happens in the 4 minutes? The cop lady dies. He takes on a helicopter, and he kills thousands of people. Thousands. And, yeah, you know, we're not talking about that, though. Not important. He's a superhero. You know. Get with the time, man. Get with the time.
Do you know any monkey songs? I am not.
Alright. Last part. Thank God. I'm not gonna lie, this video is taking longer than I wanted it to, but, you know, we're almost finished. You know, let's just wrap it up. You know, let's wrap it up here. So obviously, Hank Henry's in jail because once again he killed thousands, including a cop and a news helicopter. Bro is not a hero. Horrible first day. Spider-Man would not be like this, I'll say it. But he has bigger fish to fry as the other cop is here, and he's upset. He's very, very upset, going as far as to almost killing him. But he can't get the finisher off before the general shows up to bail him out in one of the scenes of all time.
Darwin, what are you doing here?
What's up, Doc?
Now, Henry's in a wheelchair in a lab, and they're going to do some funky tests on him because, once again, super soldier serum. But we cut to some more of the Cantloves, and they're performing acts of terror. However, Dr. Cantlove says they're done blowing up monuments, and instead, he's just going to blow up the moon. Yeah, and the scene of it happening is 3 minutes long because half of it is just the missiles frauding, and no, I will not be explaining what frauding is. Alright, I'm not your parents, I'm not his teacher, I'm just the guy who's recording a video essay on a movie that nobody cares about. Alright, let's just move on here. But back with Hank Henry, the general tells him how proud he is and even gives him his blessing to marry Hannah. But after, you know, the whole fair incident, Hank isn't dealing with her anymore and makes the excuse saying that, oh, he's a monster, and he can't marry her due to the bulk gene in his body. But the general makes a deal with him, saying that he can cure him of this bulking rage. But what he wants from Hank is for him to take care of Dr. Cantlove, since he is, you know, a terrorist, straight up a terrorist. I'm surprised more people haven't, you know, been trying to stop him, whatever. He says he'll do it, but then he contradicts himself in his whole speech. He says that he can't take another human life, but the general says that he killed lots of innocent people. But when he's being asked to kill a villain, he's saying no. Hank then says he didn't mean to kill those people. But then the second Hannah leaves, he says that the world can die, and he's only doing this for him and Hannah. Yeah, but this writing is immaculate, you know, they were picking with this one. He gets dropped in the middle of nowhere and spends 5 minutes of the movie running down to the tower. And there's a good reason for this. You know, this is the one scene that's really long that makes sense, because they said that they could have dropped missiles on him, but they would see him coming and they'd shoot them out of the air. So I guess, yeah, dropping them a bit further away, you know, it makes sense, But a lot of this part of the movie is generally just, you just have to watch the movie, because a lot of it is just kind of filler, just walking, you know, bunch of foolishness. So when he gets to the castle, turns into the Bulk, runs through the castle, killing 2 guards in the process. Next, the Bulk runs into Mrs. Cantlove, who is wearing a sleeping mask, but she's written to be really stupid. Like, earlier she said that she couldn't read, so it makes sense that she thinks she's blind with the sleep mask on. It's horrible. And because Dr. Cantlove is fat, she thinks the Bulk is him, and she even touches his pecker before taking off the mask and seeing that, no, that isn't him. It isn't. She doesn't survive, by the way. She gets murdered. But don't worry, Tyler the Goblin and CGI Dog have escaped, and Dr. Cantlove is also trying to escape, but the Bulk has found him, and he wants to cure more than anything, so he steps on him. Now, if you've seen this movie, or even the comments or talk of this movie, something a lot of people will talk about is what happens after an hour and 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the craziest scene in any movie that has ever been made or conceived. So Hank is on his walkie-talkie asking about an evac, but that was never the plan, as we see by the jet dropping a literal bomb on him. After the general gives his whole speech saying that the government cut funding to this whole project years ago, but Dr. Cantlove said he would pay any amount of money for the serum because it would cure his ED, aka erectile dysfunction. But now that Hank has perfected the serum, he doesn't need the doctor anymore, so he had Hank kill him. I am not sure if the terrorism thing was also a reason, but who cares? So the general is now going to make an army of Bulks using the serum and kill Henry. Now, to make this video longer, I'm just going to let this scene play out for you guys in case you didn't watch the movie and you're only here for the best part of the entire movie.
What the fuck is happening? Hey, bro, run! You ain't getting out of there with this behavior.
Wait,
Oh, he
hold on,
blocked
hold
up.
on. Oh, there we go.
Still
There we
one.
go.
He got a speed boost.
Just
in Russian.
Robin
The
Hood.
hell?
Robin Hood. What the fuck is this guy?
Bro, what the hell?
Dude, where is this? Guys,
Across the
I
jet.
hit skip, but I'm so fucking lost right now. It makes no sense.
What is this tank doing?
Do they know
That's where
he's
they
still
shot the
alive?
One rocket, dude. The second rocket, that's where they
Why
shot.
didn't he do this to
Why
begin
is
with?
he
He would have
so
gotten there so
fast?
fast.
He's
He
so
just doesn't
fast.
do that.
He's-
Is that Battlefield 1 bayonet charge?
Oh my god.
Yo, they dead ass. They're just sitting there just spamming shit, bro.
Why is he in a playground?
Is that allowed?
Red Baron? The Red Baron is here?
Oh, he's doing tricks. Okay.
Do a barrel roll.
What?
It's soccer.
Is he gonna give a
Oh, it's a
collateral?
helicopter now, not a plane. Where the fuck are we?
No way he's Jesus, bro. He's gonna start running on water.
What is happening?
There's not enough casualties.
This wasn't. Yeah, this is when people timestamp this shit, bro. What is happening? Is that Zeus?
Fever dream happening.
This is what everyone was freaking out about in the comments, dude. I get it, bro. I understand now. What's happening?
Helicopter.
This is actually psychotic.
I'm so gonna get pissed.
Now there's a sub?
Please tell me he gets hit by a train.
Also,
He disappeared.
that coal train is going so fast.
That's on.
What is happening? They just animated a bunch of scenes and were like, how do we include this in the movie?
It's replaying the same thing.
What the fuck?
You see that hind? We're gonna take it.
Using all the free assets that they could for this, bro.
Okay, no, actually, when does this end? Does it just keep going? Okay. This goes on for another minute, by the way.
Is that Luigi on that phone?
God, this should just be the rest of the movie, bro.
Okay, no, wait, what the fuck is happening? Wait, no, what's going on here?
We have to watch. Drop the bomb. Affirmative.
Why is this on fucking...
Why is this so long? Where is he falling from?
Oh,
That was a dish.
Good job, soldier.
But yeah, Hank is dead, and the general was hyping him up to his daughter, like, holy glaze, he didn't have to do it like that. And that would be where the movie ended, or it should have been. Like, seriously, I'll explain later, but Henry is still alive and has somehow gotten into Hannah's house. Like, you'd think the general of the army would have a security system, but no, guess not. But Hank finally gets to propose to Hannah after all this time. However, all good things must come to an end.
Insane. You! It can't be! You're dead!
Daddy!
I'm gonna kill you once and for all!
Daddy, get off of
Not
him!
before I kill you, old man!
What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about the movie. We got a few minutes, hang tight, but why did this kill Hank? Well, I said this, no, Hank isn't dead, he's still alive. But if a nuke didn't kill Hank, did they think that this fall was gonna convince us that he died? Not to mention, how the hell did he get back to Hannah's house in a singular day? It took him 5 days in a montage to the castle, and he was dropped somewhere near the castle. But I guess it could be a time skip or something, but who really cares? But the last few moments are Hannah putting flowers on his grave, the ball cop pouring alcohol and piss on his grave, and then, well, he gets balked. And that's pretty much the end of The Amazing Bulk. Is there a sequel plan? No, not that I know of. This is made back in 2013. There's 2 books. I haven't read them. They aren't even made by the same person, and both the books were released in the same year. It is basically, I'm pretty sure, the first movie, and then a sequel involving a villain named Pandemic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And do I really want a sequel? I don't think there needs to be a sequel, you know? Maybe we can just move on from this and let the Bulk die. But I'm sure there'll be somebody out there who will make a sequel. And in all honesty, I generally don't think there should be one for many reasons. Number one, this movie by itself is fine. It's a fine watch with a bunch of people for fun. But a sequel, if it does the same things this one did, it isn't going to be as good. Like, you're not rewatching The Amazing Bulk after you watch it the first time. At least not, you know, in one sitting. Like, I'd probably watch this like 5 years from now just to see. But I made this video, so I really don't have to watch it again. Like, I literally can just, you know, watch this video back if I really wanted to. But, yeah. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm making a break for it. If you do want to watch this movie, you know, go check it out. Link in the description. I'll likely put it there, you know. It's gonna be linked to a random, like, you know, video that somebody re-uploaded. Really doesn't matter, the movie's free. All that. Yada, yada, yada. You don't care. Anyway. You know, another video probably coming out this month, if not March. It's likely gonna be The Evil Within 2, so prepare for that one, you know. It's gonna be a banger, I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be a banger. But I'm out of here.
To hell with
Peace
this.
out, guys.